Hey everyone, Angelo here, homeless filmmaker in LA. Been living in my car for, what, 14 months still, I guess. Uh, I've had you know, little bit of a downturn last few months. Just something I got to work through. My car was destroyed, then I was out of work for a little bit. I had to turn down some jobs. But, it's like, hey, that's working out as best it can. I didn't have any major, or like, as far as I can tell, permanent injuries. I still am going to a chiropractor for my ribs. They were bruised. And I got my dissociative disorder returned after 6 years without it, without any major relapses. I had a few setbacks, but and it's scary. It scares the hell out of me. It's depersonalization-derealization. It means basically it shuts me off from my emotions. I don't feel like I'm in myself, although I'm slowly coming back, I think. I never really know if I fully am, though. That seems too good to be true. And then the derealization part is not feeling like the reality exists or the world is real. It's very scary. I was feeling so much better a few days ago, but with getting better was feeling all my old depression and angst, and it was overwhelming. And then all I did was look at Twitter, and I got triggered again into my symptoms. It was like sensory overload. I was like, damn it, man, I was feeling so much better, and then I went numb again, and I'm numb kind of now, like not entirely, but just feeling crappy. And my dad passed away. I still only momentarily get brief glimpses of just the gravity of that. Just how horrible it is. What a huge loss. And basically, so now, yeah, I'm trying to get through my symptoms. Basically, that involves like working out every day, a lot of times twice a day. Last night, I didn't end up doing pull-ups and chair dips in the park because my arms were too sore. I'd been doing like training twice a day all week, and it was like, oh, that's my arms can't do it right now. I worked out today, and so my number one task is still recover from this disorder. I had a setback, but I seem to have them regularly, and each time they don't get as bad as before. I was thinking back, and I was able to see old messages I sent to people when I was talking about my symptoms from a few weeks ago or nearly a month ago, and I was so much worse off. I was horrible, talking about how bad they were affecting me. It was horrific, and thinking I was going to go to the mental hospital. And it's easy to take for granted any progress I make, which is kind of good in that it's like keeps me pushing. Okay, keep doing stuff to get better and better, because it's still scary. I still don't know if I'll recover, and it sucks. I hate it because it's like my emotions are trapped in amber, like frozen, like fossilized, like this. I try and engage them, and they just won't go. Whereas normally you can move freely, all that stuff. That's my hand moving. And the other thing is I'm looking for work. I would still need work even if I didn't have the car crash, even if I wasn't depersonalized. So that's just part of what I'm going through. The obstacles are part of the path. So I've been applying to a bunch of stuff, and I turned down the landfill job picking up trash. They invited me out to go, and then I was like looking up info about the landfill, which all seemed good enough, supposedly state of the art and all that stuff. But then I was looking up info about landfills and poisons in them and everything. I was like, oh shit, I'm so nervous about like long-term cancer risk or brain damage or any of that stuff. I turned it down after that. I said, I'm sorry, I'm going to decline. I was getting so paranoid. I was like, there could be mercury there could be methane, all this stuff. I was like, forget it, I'm not doing it, it's not worth it. I'll be panicked the whole time that I'm picking up trash. Turned down this other thing. It's unfortunate. Now I would accept it, but it's fine. It's part of the mistakes you make. I just, at the time, I didn't think I wanted it, and you can't change that because I was feeling differently with my disorder. I was feeling like, oh, okay, I feel more likely I want to get film work if I could. I'm still applying to that stuff. I'm lucky I'm able to, even with my disorder, that it doesn't completely freak me out. I'm getting goosebumps right now. because this disorder, it's a sensory disorder. So not only it's a panic disorder, it shuts down my emotions, it's like a constant anxiety attack, but it gives me strange tastes in my mouth. It makes me look around and think things aren't real sometimes. I get strange goosebumps, and oh man, this one, I was thinking about doing security work again. I wouldn't mind doing that. I'm like, hey, that's cool. You know, be a bouncer in bars around here. Never know who you meet, especially around LA. And it seemed like a cool place. Both places I've seen I could have worked at. I left the bar last night. My ears were so numb. I was only there for like 2.5 hours and ringing, and they're still hurting like a motherfucker. And ringing, I'm like, working in a bar. That's not a good sound that I made. Working in a bar for 5 years as I have, and my headphones hurting my ears when I'm editing on my laptop in the library now that I don't have a home. It's taken a toll on my ears. I can't deal with this constant aching and pain in my ears and worrying about ear damage. So that sucks. If I could get security at somewhere quieter, yeah, I'd consider it. Just that I don't want the people hiring me to be worried, oh, is Angelo going to complain about the noise? So the other thing too in California, you need to get a guard card to be a security guard, which is an 8-hour course, and you got to pay $175. I don't I really don't have $175 in a way. I know all the angry white people that are like, why don't you have more white values and value money more? See, if you valued money more, if you loathed yourself and just valued money, then you'd be like me. And when I try and make money, I imagine that other people will like me more. So why don't you be like me? I don't try and give my approval to people I don't respect. So, you know, I'm not really worried about what you're all thinking or doing. If you're all jealous of what I'm doing, hey, that's your problem. Fuck you. Yeah, so it's like, man, my ears are a problem. It hurts me even now talking. And it's scary as hell. My sensory disorder scares the hell out of me. But got to keep going. The next person might not be able to go through this because it would scare the living shit out of you. And there are people who go through it, and I see it on a depersonalization forum online. Man, these people have the living shit scared out of them too, and they talk about similar symptoms to me. But you can't really compare your symptoms to others. And it takes time. Some people can come out of it much more easily. And some people can function better with it. Me, this religious trauma has grafted itself onto it, as well as some other stuff. Like, that's why I said, looking at Twitter, it was like, oh my goodness, it was like energy overload, like plugging in a device and there being no circuit breaker or fuse to, flip so that it will shut off. It was just sensory overload. I couldn't take it. And now it's like, oh, okay, I'm numb again. Get this weird taste in my mouth. Good thing is, I'm able to sleep all right still. My appetite is still good. Those were two things that when I'm really sick with this disorder are way, way off. The last time I had a relapse in 2012 to 13, I was just totally fucking disabled for 8 months of it. I say disabled for 9 months. Yeah, that first month I really was bad, but I was still struggling to function and hiding it and barely functioning. But a month in, I had to quit filmmaking. I couldn't drive anymore, and it was just horrific. It was just hell on earth. And I was feeling like I was having horrible delusions. I realize now they weren't delusions, but they kind of feel that way because they're so powerful. And two of my biggest problems were I could barely swallow anything, and I couldn't sleep for more than like 45 minutes or an hour a night, a lot of nights. I was so exhausted, yet I couldn't sleep. Go figure. So now that's not the case. Even in 2007 and 8, I had a very scary bout of it for a year. Horrifying. It was worse, I'd say, in a way, than the 2012 to 13 one. Less physically painful, but I was so numb. It was just horrific, the loneliness of it. And thinking, and I would try and go out, try and watch movies and stuff, having no idea what this disorder was, just feeling this utter emptiness, numbness, no satisfaction in anything. And it was getting to the point where I was increasingly unable to sleep. And I couldn't feel satisfaction in anything. It was just horrific. I did discover also the Recovering from Religion website, because this stuff still, it does such a number on me, this trauma from religion. And it wasn't anything specific like abuse. It was just like I tried to buy into it because I was so submissive to authority, even though I didn't believe in it as a kid. And it just, I realized how badly it's grafted itself onto me. It's horrific. The fact that I always feel guilt, the fact that I always feel like, oh, you know, life's not supposed to be good, and it's all supposed to be gone for another life. It's just horrific. All these thoughts, and like I'm never supposed to enjoy my life. They've always had such a primacy in my head, like this hierarchy that puts them in a place where it just dominates me, even though I'm always able to sort of manage it, or usually I can. So right now I'm just focused on recovery and getting jobs. I'm applying to lots of jobs. The jobs where they need someone quick, I saw stuff like, you know, helping with moving heavy stuff or construction or whatever. Sometimes if those have phone numbers, I just text them, say, hey, I'm available whenever you need, you know, let me know if I can help. And I'm still going to go after this, apply to even more jobs, try not to let myself give in to what my symptoms make me want to do, which is do nothing. And just try and keep moving, even though that scares the hell out of me. When I'm moving, I'm like, well, why would I do this? What motivation do I have? I don't feel like myself. I'm not enjoying my life like I used to. I don't feel the things resonate in me that used to, like film and being around people. It's horrific. And then I have those moments, like I said, where it comes and goes. It was getting so much better earlier this week, and now I've had this little setback. The only good thing I can say is I seem to have those, and the periods seem to get deeper and longer each time, and the setbacks seem to get milder and shorter each time. Still scares the hell out of me, because how do you know? It's like, well, maybe this setback, my ears are hurting the fuck out of me. It's like, how do you know this time the setback won't go away? Maybe this time it's going to be permanent. So, you know, I got to slow down that almost like OCD level, that compulsion of thinking I'm going to be sick forever, and let my mind loosen up. Right now, it's in that anxiety-free state where it's numb. When I get back to myself, yeah, I'll probably be depressed and all that, and it's going to be horrible, but I got to be able to manage it better. So I'm reaching out for a bunch of jobs right now, looking at a lot of stuff, even if it's just like a gig for a day or two or something. Those are great, actually. Just work, take the money, and move on to the next thing. Because I don't need a lot to get by this month. And I'm just not spending much. Basically, I don't know what I'm going to do for food today. I have some food from the food bank, but I could go there. But maybe I won't eat much. I don't know. Or I'll go to a food truck. But yeah, you know, it's like things happen. You work your way around, you know, only what you know. So when I was spending more money out, thinking, oh, this is nice, it's, you know, psychologically benefiting me to eat out and eating healthier, I wasn't, obviously at the time I didn't know, oh, this, you know, I might have no money after a while and might have to not spend anything, basically. But that's fine. You only can, you know, do stuff based on what you know. So, and I was miserable not eating out, and at least eating something healthy like whole foods, cooked foods, even though the food bank does have a lot of those, especially they have like a lot of salads, but it's expensive eating out. So I'm spending as little as possible, driving as little as possible, working on recovery, trying to keep moving. Exercised well today, even though I felt crappy. And the good thing is I do feel like getting up and doing stuff, even though I have this disorder. That's a really good indication, because when I was most sick, I didn't feel like that at all. And even in 2 weeks ago, like after, I think probably both before and after my dad died, I can't believe it to say it, I would lie in my car for like 16 hours a day. So I'd go to sleep, wake up, and then just talk to people throughout the day. I wouldn't just lie there by myself, but like I would like call someone, talk to them for an hour, call someone else, talk to them for an hour, call someone else. That's how it would go. And it's really scary, but you know, all I can do is let my body recover. I can't make myself recover. It's like I realize I just gotta let my body recover and aid its recovery by doing the stuff that's necessary, by moving, by getting my body to think, oh, okay, we can shut down this panic response and allow the emotions to come back, like lower the alert status, you know, at the nuclear power plant. So anyways, like the video, comment, share it and everything. You know, I don't even like to think ahead to anything, but you know, I like stories of, you know, challenges and struggles, and I don't like to think ahead. I don't like to ever call anything, oh, I'm good now, I'm better. Like, I just like to think of it as always doing, always being. So, you know, I always want to be doing something to recover and do more and always have challenges. I realize I'm empty without challenges and adversity. It's just that, you know, I got to know how to manage them. So anyways, yeah, let's see. I know I'm not through this disorder yet. There's a part of me that fully expects to recover, even though it seems, oh, it's too good to be true. Angelo, that can't happen. I know my mom's totally confident I will, and somehow I've gotten through it 3 times before and had no idea how. It was hell on earth every time, getting through it in different ways every time, but hell on earth. But I know myself better than ever. I know so much better and more clearly how religion is utterly false and Christianity is utterly made up, even though in my mind it's got this place that's so, you know, primal and subconscious. It's utterly made up, and essentially it's all belief in sorcery. And just stay healthy, keep on top of, you know, my health routine, walking and everything, exercising hard. I did a good workout in the gym today, even though I wasn't expecting to. I was like, ah, shit, I went in late, I'm depressed, but I still did it. And just keep looking for work. I'll take a lot of things I'm willing to take because I really need it. All right, everybody.